Did the club have to pay Roy Hodgson £7 million compensation?
Well, clearly we wouldn't discuss anything that private in public. No, we reached a mutual agreement with Roy, and clearly we wouldn't be where we are if we hadn't done that amicably from both sides. So everybody was pleased where we got to.
Does that affect the transfer budget at all, given there was a payoff for Rafa Benitez as well in the summer?
No, I don't think they. Certainly, that type of payment doesn't come into the same area of our business as the transfer fund, and that sits on its own, and it won't make any difference to what we do this summer.
Just to clarify with Steve Clark, is he here to the end of the season or beyond?
Steve is with us to the end of the season, and I think we're still discussing with him what that might mean long term.
In the meantime, Ian, do you continue your search for a manager for next season? Or is that on hold now?
Yeah, it's a process that Damien's more involved in myself, but I think we've been very public in that sense that Damien's working very hard on putting together the criteria for that, and it's something that we've said all along will continue.
What if Kenny does really well though? I mean, you're going to face a huge demand on behalf of the fans for him to stay.
By the way, if I do really well and there's somebody better than me comes along, I have no problem whatsoever, right?
Really?
And will not be obtrusive or objective in any way, shape or form. I'm here to be of help to the club, and if being of help to the club means that Kenny Dalglish isn't the manager, by the way, not a problem.
I don't think so. I think in the summer we went through a very sort of exhaustive process, as I'm sure we will do from now forward, and I think it's easy to look at anything in hindsight and say that might have been better or that might have been different. I think, as Kenny said himself, what we've done in the last few days is bring Kenny back to try and turn this around, and we're in that position because of certain things that have happened, but I don't think anybody's looking backwards or only looking forward.
Ian, when was the actual decision to part company with Roy? Was it after the Wolves game or after the Blackburn game?
It was later than that. It was after the Blackburn game. There was a period between then, and then we started some conversations on Friday with Roy and his people, which went on pretty late, and I don't think anybody got very much sleep. And then at the very early hours of Saturday morning, got hold of this chap at sea somewhere. So technology played its part, but it was kind of as soon as we'd reached that agreement with Roy, made contact with Kenny, and we talk about commitments, and Kenny was literally on a plane 2 or 3 hours later and back here Saturday night. So there's a lot of work went on, but it was all. I think what the most important thing, I think, from the football club's perspective, was that it was done with dignity. We did speak to Kenny before we'd reached agreement with Roy, which I think is right and proper. And I don't think, knowing Kenny as I do, he wouldn't have wanted us to speak to him until that point in time.
Did Marina understand, Mrs. Dalglish understand, Kenny, that you cut the holiday short?
It was actually her they wanted to be manager. She was so successful the last time.
She's the only one who understands him as well.
She said, I think she phoned Dean and said, please, take him out of the house.